We've got it. We've got it. Hang on. Got it. Got it. Yeah. Yeah, we've got it. Well, that's all right then. So now, James, were you, obviously you were at the game today.
I was. We were fortunate to get a point, Dave.
Were you?
Can you hear me?
I can now, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought we were very fortunate to get a point.
Yes. Yeah. And were you on the previous, oh, sorry, Fruity, I know it's football, but the previous one, did you feel that you got the result you deserved?
Well, to be fair, overall, Tottenham should have won it anyway.
Yes. Yeah.
But the manner which they didn't win it, we lost it.
Yes.
The manner in which we lost it was frustrating.
Yeah.
To be fair, that they were the better side and really ought to have been ahead anyway. But at that stage of the game,
you'd have been happy
what we're doing.
Yeah. Oh no, Pete. Obviously, there were not a lot of goals on today for you either.
What? Say that again?
You didn't have many goals today, did you?
Oh no, we didn't. No, two was enough. We eased up.
Well, the first one was an excellent goal, wasn't it?
A very good goal, David. I appreciate
even I saw that, David.
Well, I'm impressed because I didn't.
Well, it was only because I was sat in the club with a mate of mine and it was on the telly.
All right. What time was the goals, Pete?
Which one? The winner?
No, I don't matter. Don't matter.
No, I'm on about the first one. The first one, Pete, when he was miles out and he curled it round.
That was about half an hour. Was it half an hour in?
No, I'm sure. I was looking at the scores coming in. I don't think I didn't. Anyway, it was a later kickoff, wasn't it? So yeah,
it was certainly the first half.
Yeah, it was the first half.
Right.
One in each half.
Very good. Very good. So
I do know a little bit more about football than I do rounders, actually.
I've got a question. Is the telly coming through because Mrs. Kling's watching the telly? Can you hear it?
What?
I can't hear anything now.
Okay.
She's watching the NFL.
You say she's watching the Teletubby?
No, well, yeah, she's in the I got my headphones on. She's in the living room, so you can't hear the telly, so that's good. Okay. All right. So.
Sorry, Colonel. I can hear the news, and I'm the noise abater. So Gizzy, was it a Friday night, Saturday night, or a Saturday night only last week?
No, it was Friday night, Saturday night, and Sunday, Dave.
Wow.
3 nights, yeah. Some good bands on, actually. I went on the Friday, we saw Clearwater Creedence.
Yeah.
And really, I should have gone to see 10 Years After. They were better. And then on Sunday night, we started off watching Nazareth.
Yeah.
And after about 3 numbers.
Woken up in a time warp.
Yeah.
Are these cover bands or?
No, Nazareth. Well, most of them are bloody dead now, aren't they? But Nazareth still got one original member. And then we did about the first 3 numbers and went in to see Dr. Feelgood. And they're brilliant.
Yeah.
Dr. Feelgood, absolutely brilliant.
Oh, this was the festival?
Yeah.
Ah, got it.
Yeah,
was it well attended?
There was more people than I thought there might be.
Yeah.
There wasn't as many as not last year, but the year before. I think a lot of people still lying low from COVID, but there was more than I thought there might be. Yeah. The good thing about it is, you see, they're all our age and older.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, some good 80-year-old rockers out there, I tell you.
Don't take the piss about these people.
Of which I will be one soon. Well, certainly in the 70s anyway.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was to be fair, there was probably a few more younger couples than there was previously. But when I say younger, they're probably 40s and 50s, not young, you know.
But no, yeah.
But majority are pensioners. Well, 90% would be pensioners, of course, because it's that era now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we're all getting older.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
But it's a fantastic weekend. Absolutely fantastic.
Where is it?
Well, we went to Skegness, but they have them at Minehead and they have them at Bognor.
Oh, it's right. The three, all three of the.
Yeah, I mean they have.
Oh, they're all Butlins.
Yeah, they have 70s,
Ah.
80s, 90s weekends.
Yeah.
You know, rock and roll
Common
weekends from the
denominator.
60s.
Do you think we could all go to Bognor for the weekend?
Yeah, why not?
Where did you suggest this morning?
Hey, that sounds great. Yeah.
Well, the thing is that we like the rock and blues, and they only seem to have that at Skeggy, but all the rest of them, they do all over the place, the 90s and 80s. The 80s is pretty good, but, you know, my era's just before that. You know, simple as that, really.
Yeah. And do they go far as back as who's just coming in now, Johnny Herbert?
Hello,
I
that's
don't have to
me.
go back that far. I'll tell you what we did see, Dave. A terrific band from Bristol
Go
called
on.
the what
The
were they called?
Wurzels.
Terraplane,
Robbins.
the Terraplane Blues Band.
Right.
Absolutely superb. Bristol lads. They were very good.
Oh, okay. We're just talking about a rock and roll weekend last week that Gizzy was at, John. Yeah. And the next one's going to be down nearer to you at Bognor.
Near me, that's not near me.
No, it's nearer than it is Skeggy.
Oh, all right.
I'll
take your word for it.
Honestly, look, you're not going to start having a go because Brad Pratty wrote all sorts about you last week. Don't start again.
I think he's going to come in today. I really do.
Right.
He did phone me up, actually.
Yeah, I know he did. Yeah, tell me. Yeah.
Hey, guess what came in the post today?
Oh, got it,
Oh,
yeah. I need to order mine.
Yeah.
it's a load of lies,
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to read all about you, Hilda. And you can always believe what's written in the book.
Of course, yeah.
I've got it on the phone.
Oh, have you?
Yeah.
I've downloaded it, the Kindle version.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got a Kindle version.
It's half the price.
Don't tell Pratty that.
Especially with all your not storm damage, with your tree damage, Colonel.
Yeah.
Save every penny. You could use that wood to make the next tree and the next kids' playhouse.
Wendy House.
Yeah. I don't want to talk about
it. It's going to be called a Cindy house.
We talked about it in the Aussie crew bar, so I'm not going to go there again.
I'm afraid we might do, Colonel. Who's coming in now? The lumberjack?
Andy.
It's Steve Walker. I hope he's not wearing his lumberjack shirt. No.
Yeah, don't go call him a lumberjack. He'll be going to the drag locker.
How come he's coming in so late these days?
Yeah. Hello, Stephen.
Unexpected visitors.
Oh,
Yeah. Oh, and Diane, she said she'd come in.
Got a lady coming in. It's great.
Hey Alexa, switch off.
Right, here she
yeah.
Hello, Diane. Oh, it's good. Lovely.
Diane.
That's nice. That's good.
I've been out to collect my roast pork lunch, and I did actually have a pint of Rattler whilst I was waiting.
Oh, lovely.
Only just down the road.
You only had the one then.
Well, yeah, because it's up a hill, so I had to drive back.
Even better. So you're all safe and sound?
I'm all safe and sound. I have my roast pork dinner ready to start eating shortly.
Oh, great. Flipping it. We're all coming round there tonight then, boys.
It is, Steve.
All right, Jimmy.
Yeah, all right, mate. You?
Yeah, not so bad, pal. Not so bad. Not so bad, mate. Not so bad, mate.
Yeah.
Just a matter of interest, my TV is on silent at the moment, but there's a program on called The £1 Billion Cruise. Everybody ever seen it?
No, but I just
Symphony
saw
of
the report.
Seas.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know where they are at the moment, but
All I read was that there's 2,200 crew.
Channel 4.
Crew.
True. Well, that'd do my odds good, wouldn't it?
Flipping heck.
What ship is it, Jimmy?
Symphony of the Seas.
All right. Yeah.
Channel 4.
One of the biggest in the world, isn't it?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Bloody hell, that is big. That is big.
And did you hear that Crystal Cruises has gone bankrupt and they had to offload the passengers in the Bahamas because the Miami police are going to take them to court if it comes
Or
in?
something with that.
No.
Well, it's because it's because of the bank in Hong Kong. They run out of money, so they've gone bankrupt.
Wow. How
And
many ships have they got?
Well, is it interesting history behind it? In Avignon, I had a conversation with Andy, and he explained to me what happened was Crystal Cruises approached him to go and work for them, and their plan was to take the exact design of the Princess ships, but with half the cabins. And so when me and Cindy went on one out of Australia, that was it. The cabins were twice as big. So that's they only had a couple of ships, but out of business.
Any Brendan?
Blimey. Hello, Brendan.
Hi guys,
Brendan.
Lovely.
how are we?
We're all right. You've gone to Mustard now.
Yeah, Colonel Mustard in the day room
Easy on
playing
the Colonel.
Cluedo.
Easy on the Colonel.
Oh.
Very impressed. Hey, Brendan.
Actually, Dave, I must tell you this. Sorry to interrupt you. After I finished the Aussie Crew Bar this morning, I went back up and I was chatting with Sherry, and she said, "How was it?" I said, "Oh, very good." And I said, "You know, Dave and Pat's 40th anniversary. We were both saying, oh, isn't that lovely? Blah blah blah." And I said, "They're going down to Cornwall to where Dave's mum and dad celebrated their honeymoon to the same hotel." So quick as a flash, she said, "Do you think Dave was conceived there?"
Well, he would be 70 years old if he was.
And I said, "No, but I'll ask him tonight. I'm not sure he would know much about it."
No, older brother and sister.
Cornwall rocks.
It does, and we're looking forward to it. Or we'll ask Diane whether there's a Trigona. I think it was Trigona Castle. I'll ask her.
Oh, Tregenna Castle. That's
Trigona Castle.
St. Ives, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, I'm in Bude, so I'm the north end.
Oh right, okay. Oh yeah. Well, that's where we're going. 2 weeks time. Yeah, 2 weeks time. So Hilda, you've only got 2 weeks to bake that cake, which I've already got as a back screen.
Not another one.
Yeah, afraid so. Yeah, same old cake. It's coming out again.
Doing the round.
Johnny,
Oh, it's been well spread around.
Bob, why are you in?
Don't you talk about me like that.
He's in twice, so he's using two devices.
Who's in twice?
Okay, he's in one now. He's in one now.
Who's it?
He's trying, isn't he?
Blackpool Bob.
Yeah, he's trying. Yeah, he's got
Oh,
technical
right.
difficulties.
Nothing quite like a bit of navy cake, Dave.
Yeah.
You said it, Gizzy, not me.
I can't find him on here at all now. Bob's gone.
Oh, hey, no, the boys, just to notice, Brendan has moved his laptop. He has now got the hair of the screen is now being moved to his shoulder. So
It was coming out of my ear.
and this morning I got my thumb and I went on the laptop to try and get rid of the hair off the screen, and it wasn't moving.
Put it on my head.
And we did say it's the only hair he's got on his head. In a nice
You make
way.
me cry.
In a nice way, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, we've lost Bob.
Yeah, he's in the waiting
Never
room,
arrived.
but he's not getting in. So
We've lost,
something's
we've lost
going on.
Pete Stevens.
Yeah,
Pete,
He's frozen, Pete.
Pete's frozen, Pete.
I'm up the top.
Yeah, he's on the
I'm still
top. but
there.
In the
he
middle.
just-
Screen on
He
mine.
was doing an ollie, Dave. He wasn't moving.
He
You're on
was
a blank
doing,
screen
he
on
was
mine,
doing
Peter.
an ollie.
Pete, you're a blank screen on mine.
No, Pete's moving
No,
well.
he moved his head. See, he moved his
There
head.
he is. There he is. He's
Moved
back.
Yeah, because he moved his head. You have to move
Yeah.
now and again. Yeah.
Diane, can you open up the cupboard so I can hear what they're saying?
Who?
What's that?
Open the cupboards up. That was the view we had. We thought we could have a bit of a ventriloquist act with the cupboards behind you, opening and closing.
That's me because when I got to the pub, my dinner was ready to collect, but
Oh,
I had
lovely.
to have a little pint whilst I was there, really.
Only
And
the
then,
one.
and then I had to deliver me mum's on the way, so now it's got to go in the microwave to heat up.
Brilliant. That's him. Oh, even better. So, Diane, you're down in Bude.
Yeah,
Lovely. So, how far is that from St Ives?
it's about an hour and 40 minutes actually. Cornwall's quite a big county because it's quite long and thin.
Yeah.
So I'm right at the very, very top, and you're right. St Ives is
Going
right at the
down
very,
the
very
back,
bottom.
going
I'm going
down,
on
yeah.
holiday to Newlyn in a few weeks,
Mhm.
but we go on holiday in Cornwall these days.
Brilliant.
Why not?
Yeah, no, we're looking forward to it. I did do a bit of history looking up on the hotel because obviously it's a very, very old place, and it was a family-run business at some stage. But they then said that any well-known people that have stayed there, Prince Philip was the one guest many years ago, and
Wow.
I think it was, I don't know if it was Sting or I think it was Sting was there as well.
It's not the alcohol-free one, is it? Because there's a big Castle Hotel in St Ives. It's alcohol-free.
Well, I'm going online straight after this, and if it is, we'll cancel it. Having that. Flipping heck.
Actually,
there is one big hotel down in St Ives that's alcohol-free.
As sure as eggs, Dave won't be going to that one.
No,
I was going to say, if the alcohol's free, we'll all go there.
that's the sort of place.
You'd have to go to the offie on the way.
I know, it's the sort of place that Bobo's been travelling around the world. He's been going to all the places that are closed.
Yeah.
So
Bob's in.
yeah, I know he is. Hi, Bob.
Blackpool Bob.
Evening. My
Chris,
my laptop has gone to the gods, so I'm on my phone tonight, chaps.
Okay.
Oh,
We
well,
got Bobo
thank you for
coming in too.
I think that's my
coming in from Dubai. He's not in,
look,
no,
Oh, he's
no,
still with the camels.
he's not in jail, guys. He's still free.
Billy Bobo.
Hello, Bob.
Hi guys.
You worked out how many toes on account that camel's got.
That's too complicated. That is.
We had a toe count this morning, didn't we, Bobo?
We did.
Marvelous, flipping heck.
Oh dear.
Bobo, although are you inside, outside? What's the time there? And
Okay, it's
It's quarter after 11. He's 12 hours ahead of me.
11:15. I'm in the hotel in my room, so yeah. So, but I'm just back. I've just done
a fiance.
Yeah, she's asleep though, so
it's all right. Just do a quick span round. We won't wake her up. Can you imagine? The iPad?
I think Dave's looking for some more camel toes.
We all say
Oh, easy, Brendan.
I'm glad I got these on.
No, but I just say that your audio is very loud, Bob, with the headphones, so that's okay.
Oh,
Just let
is
you know that. That's okay.
Let me I can turn it down a little. Just
a bit.
bear with me.
But my noise suppression guy would normally tell you that, but he didn't tell you.
Is that okay or not?
Pete, have you got the sheet of paper ticking off the bollockings again, please? That's bollocking one for this one. For this
I think I got slipped one in there.
Actually, while it's quiet, I couldn't get in a couple of seconds ago. Dave, St. Ives. My family used to go there when I was 1 year old. I got a picture of me on the beach in St. Ives, and that would be 1952.
Wow.
So
Blimey.
what I would
Perhaps,
post that in
perhaps
there.
you and
Then
Dave
it's
are
changed since
related.
then.
They still have ration books then.
Yeah.
With fashion
Was
books,
that in
I
your
probably
knitted
did.
swim trunks, John?
Yeah, I will post the picture. Yes,
Oh,
I
yeah.
will.
Are they knitted? You always used to have knitted swim trunks. Then.
Yeah, I got
Yeah,
a
I
good picture of me
remember.
in my swimming
Swimsuits. Yeah, I think
costume.
we
John,
did.
I'm going to have to do the old one. You still got the hole in the elbow.
Do you want to see my lunch, guys? I don't know if
Of course
you
we
do.
do. Of course we do.
Yes,
Have a look.
please.
Yeah.
See your lunchbox.
Oh, lovely.
Lunchbox.
Are you on an aisle seat? Are you on an aisle seat in the aeroplane, or is that just you're by the window?
No, I'm on my lounge, on my sofa.
Marvelous.
Is that good for a pub lunch or what?
Yeah, yeah. Very, very good. Very nice. Now, Blackpool Bob, have you defrosted since you were sat up at the football yesterday?
It wasn't too bad, actually.
Good.
Where are you? Oh, there you are. Yes.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
have to keep switching from side to side to find you. Yeah. Yeah, it was all right. It wasn't that cold, actually, yesterday. It was okay.
Yeah, I mean, we won't go into football too much, but it's a shame that neither you or I actually got Bristol City, or you got through to the next round of the FA Cup, because that game with us next 2 weeks' time wouldn't have happened.
Yeah, right. Well,
and you should
if you had got married on a different date, it wouldn't have mattered, would it?
had we only known 40 years ago what the draw for the FA Cup was going to be.
That would be.
That's true. That's true. Oh,
Very
dear.
good. Very
Anyway,
quick.
so,
Oh dear.
So
never mind.
Okay,
I'll
guys.
go watch for you.
I was down at the beach yesterday, and somebody shouting, "Dizzy, Dizzy, Dizzy, come here!" They've only got a dog called Dizzy.
No.
What's that about?
Flipping heck.
Where?
So now going a quick question to Bobo, since you're there.
Yeah.
Look, with those headphones on, you look as if you're in the what was it, the annual singing contest, you know, nil point and all that.
Eurovision.
Absolutely.
Bobo, what's the plan? Have you got some video footage getting ready for? Are you going to do a few things together? Or?
Well, yeah. We've been busy. I've just come back from a desert safari, which is quite good. So I've got lots of footage of different things.
Yeah.
So I was thinking about going back to the QE2 for one night. We're just still discussing it so that my fiance could, because she really wanted to go to the QE2, but we'll see. But I may have to get COVID to get back on there, though.
Easy to report a positive test, Bobo.
Yeah, easy, yeah. But it's actually the guy that I got friendly with on the front desk, because they've closed it down as far as Agoda and Booking.com. It shows up as being full, but it doesn't, because it won't say that it's a quarantine hotel. And he gave me a special number to ring.
Actually, Bobo, you should tell them the story you told me about what happens if you go to prison in Dubai, the type of prison you go in.
Oh, yeah, they're pretty good, actually, the prisons. You know, you get looked after. You get air conditioning. You get an air-conditioned room. You get all the nice television with all the different TV channels. And if different nationalities, you get a different menu. So if I was American, I get American food. If I'm Chinese, I get Chinese food. So it sounds not bad, does it?
How many stars has it got?
Yeah, 6 stars, of course. 6 stars. But they have long bookings. You can get 25 years. 25 years.
If you do a twirl at the fountain.
Yeah,
get the wife doing some more gymnastics.
Do they have
that was funny.
Actually, Bobby, you need to tell the story again, because wait.
Okay, because All right. Well, basically, what happened, I went into the Mall of Dubai, which is one of the largest shopping malls, and they have a water fountain show. It starts at 6 o'clock, but at dark. And we got there, and we were all excited. And I said to my fiancée, I said, "Come on, we'll stand in front, right in front, so I can take some nice video footage." So there was quite a few people there, but the area where we picked, it was a big gap. So I took all this video, and then Abby did this big twirl and a bow and everything like that. And I put it, got a great footage. I thought, this is really, really good. I love it. And so I walked to the side, and the next minute, this African security guard, big guy, came up to me, and he said, that lady you were with, he said, she do gymnastics. It's not allowed. It's not allowed in this country. And, are you going to, what are you going to do with it? I want you to delete it. And I said, well, I'm not going to do anything with it. He said, well, if you post that on social media, he said, you'll get locked up. I said, I'm too old for social media. I don't even know what it is, mate. And my poor fiance, she was, she said, Bob, let's get out of here.
We're just waiting for a knock on the door now, Bobo.
Yeah, I know. Actually, I should be careful. Yeah. Anyway, yes. I did delete it. So anyway. Yeah.
Hello, Noel.
Yeah.
Hello, everybody. How are you?
Hi, Noel.
Hello, Noel.
Hello.
How are you, mate?
Evening.
All good.
That's good.
All good. Back. Are you back safe in Ireland? No more tours at the moment, Noel.
Well, we opened up here yesterday. Back to normal, except for wearing masks in shops and on public transport.
Oh,
and that's one. No, I'm going nowhere, and I'm going nowhere anyhow, so it doesn't matter.
That's all right. That's good. That's all right. And Johnny Herbert, I know we won't obviously go into too much details about Pratty's book again this week, because we don't want to upset you 2 weeks on the trot. But did you get the book, or is it on Kindle?
On Kindle.
Yeah. No, I think when you've got the book in your hand, you feel more relaxed. Right? All right. Try reading it from the book. All right. That's the best thing. But how far away is Bognor from you?
Who?
Bognor.
It's quite a way.
It's across the other side of the water from where I am. I'm in Kent, and that's over in Essex.
South Coast.
They've got loads of spare dinghies down there, John.
There's what?
Loads of spare dinghies and paddle across.
Yeah, that's true. But I need somebody to row for me.
I'm now a rower.
That's
I've joined your gig rowing team down here.
Very good.
Okay, we've got a rower. Now we need a coxswain.
A coxswain.
What?
Easy.
Then we can toss oars.
Here we go. Here we go.
You can always dip them, John.
I wonder how long it would take.
Yeah.
I'll tell you a story about that. I don't know if any of you ever remember Trevor Friday. He
Yes,
was on
I do.
He was on the Spirit of London maiden voyage, but he used to live near me in Sittingbourne, and the first time I met him was up at Catherine Docks doing the lifeboat, getting our lifeboat ticket.
God.
And anyway, I met him up there, as I say, first time I'd met him, and we're out in the boat there one turn. Of course, the command that you're supposed to give, toss oars. Of course, somebody called out toss oars, and there's Trevor there. Oh, what do I do now? But there we are. That was Trevor.
Yeah.
Toss port oars, toss starboard oars, or toss oars.
Yeah.
Where were you doing your sea survival and all that?
No, he's frozen.
It's frozen.
Do you
Must be
remember
the
that
art-
guy at T20?
Arctic.
The Gravesend, they did a lot of them.
A lot of Gravesend.
At Gravesend.
I did it at St Catherine's Dock,
Yeah.
and there was me and I think it was about a dozen other guys, and they were all joining oil rigs, and me, like 18, 19 years old. Who was it when they had to go in the water? Who got to be it? It was me. And the guy said, for God's sake, don't open your mouth, don't open your nose, don't scream, because the water's vile. And it used to be like, like pollution on the top.
And Noel, where did you do your lifeboat ticket and sea survival?
No, I was exempt.
In there.
I don't remember doing it. No.
No.
You must have done it.
Don't think so.
Mind you, don't, Brendan.
No.
I didn't even do mine till I went to the ferries after.
Really?
Yeah, no.
We did it at sea school.
Oh yeah, if you went to sea school, yeah, you probably did.
That's what I'm just asking, Brendan. What was the guy's name at sea? McGonigal and McGregor, the Scottish guy.
They were evil down at that sea school.
The guy who did the lifeboat training, he'd go across to the side of the river and he'd go for a
That's
pint.
right. Was it McLaughlin or something? Or
it was Max somebody, I remember him.
Yeah, Max somebody. He'd take you out over the other
was
side
it
of the river.
McInnes?
That's it, Jimmy? It is, it's McInnes.
McInnes, yeah.
Yeah. That is, you're right.
He'd start the boat up, he'd go and have a pint and you're still sat in the boat waiting for him.
Yeah.
So nothing's changed there, Steve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The four people I remember there he was one, and do you remember the old scouse boat that used to whistle you awake in the morning? 6 o'clock, he would come on the thing and go.
Yeah.
Right.
And, I remember the phrase.
Yeah, Rushbrook, of course.
Into your socks.
That's it, yeah. And Mr. Rushbrook, of course, second steward.
Yeah.
And Plum, I think, was the chief steward when I was there. Mr. Plum.
Eric Plum.
That was his first name was, but Mr. Plum had a nice daughter.
He wrote a book. Gizzy, called the Ship's Steward's Manual. I've got a copy of it. And when you went to sea school, everyone got a copy of this book. It was all dodgy.
Light blue one.
That's right.
Yeah, I've still got mine somewhere.
Yeah. And I don't know if anybody ever went to the dentist at the sea school, but I was very frightened of the dentist at a young teenager. I'm okay now, but they said, whatever you do, you're not going to get away with it. If you want to go to sea, you got to have your teeth filled with fillings. And I said, well, I thought I'll be clever. So I went to my dentist and I said, can you do a checkup? He said, yeah, you're fine. Nothing. You don't need anything. So I thought, great. So then when you went to sea school, I think it was on the last week or so, they said, you have to go to the dentist. For some reason, you had to have healthy teeth going to sea. Well, I went in there and there was guys coming out that had perfect teeth.
Yeah.
What you got? He said, 12 fillings. So I went, he said 9 fillings. I said 9 fillings. I said, but I've just had I had a letter from my dentist saying I was okay, you see. So he said, we'll go and see the chap, who was the chief officer down at the reception there. So I went down there and I said, the dentist says I need 9 fillings, but I've got a letter from my dentist saying I'm okay, I don't need them. He said, do you want to go to sea? I said, yeah, of course I do. He said, well, go and get the fillings. So I had to go up there and he took fillings out and put fillings in.
Oh,
it was a racket.
That's a racket, yeah.
It was a racket and a half, I tell you, John.
Yeah.
There were lads there that have him. Did you have him, Steve?
No, well, what happened with me, I went to the dentist before I went and he gave me 6 fillings. So when I got there, I said, I've had 6 done, mate. They're already done. So I didn't have any done at Sea Training College. They did 6 fillings all at once. Ooh.
Yeah, they gouged them out. I remember they took them out and put other ones back in. You know, it's just terrible.
Oh.
Here he is.
No, what, the dentist?
No, Peter Pratt.
Oh, hey, get your books ready. Right.
Freddie.
Sunglasses at the ready.
Right.
Freddie, I knew he'd be in today.
All right.
Yeah, I'm sorry I couldn't join last week, but my wife had just cooked a brace of pheasant, and I'm afraid the pheasant won.
Oh, a brace, a brace.
That's great. Oh, dear.
Been away for a while. I'm sorry about that.
No
Good to
apologies.
see you again, Peter.
No apologies. Yeah.
I'd like to thank everybody, particularly the crew bar management, for the book promotion. You've done a great job.
I think that's me, Mr. Pratt.
Is it you, Steve?
Where are the ratings, Pete? Where are the ratings?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
Very good.
Yeah, no, I really appreciate your help. Thank you.
We've read it and we've identified ourselves.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I do appreciate it, Steve. Thank you. Yeah.
Well,
But the thing,
identifying ourselves.
the thing is, Peter, that our anchorman suggested that we'd have a reading from a chapter, or not chapter, a page. But can I ask you, please don't read from page 3 of the first chapter.
Right.
That one will not make my YouTube censors.
Right. Okay. All right. I can't do it tonight. I've left my glasses downstairs, so maybe next week.
We can call it that. The section, Peter, will be "Listen with Peter."
I did, having watched last week, so I did actually phone John, didn't I, John, the other day? Just to apologise for the slight inaccuracy on the information.
But it made the book a bestseller, Peter.
I haven't told you what my cut is yet, Peter.
Oh, dear.
So I explained to John on the phone that I did actually know the real story, but I didn't think, I thought maybe the Parade of the Baked Alaska sort of was a bit more interesting than the excess overtime. And also I knew it was JY, but I thought let's smear Sammy's name rather than JY's.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Coffee.
Right, is mine in there? Yeah.
Dave, you say hi to Taffy.
Excuse me, just 1 second.
Why?
Okay, well then, Brendan, can you take over and say hi to Taffy?
Yes, hello, it's Diane here from Hillary's. Hi, yeah, thanks for calling back. Sorry I missed you.
I have to mute.
So
Diane.
Noel, Alan this morning was talking about the rugby, the coming Six Nations, and he's completely convinced it's going to be Wales or Ireland that are going to win the Six Nations.
Well,
I think the French are going to steal it. They steal everything else.
and what about our British cousins? What are they going to do? They're not going to.
England? Oh, I don't know. If there's anything like the cricket, forget it.
Well, Farrell's out of it, isn't he, Brendan?
I don't know. I've not followed the English rugby team for a while because
I saw in yesterday's paper something about Farrell was going to miss all 6 matches.
Yeah, he's recalled George Ford, though, isn't it? He's very much in form.
Yeah.
Very much informed George Ford at the moment.
Yeah. But who knows?
Never rule out England.
I have
unless it's cricket.
Well, yeah.
I have to come in here because I have to tell you, totally unbiased that I am.
Yeah.
I have a good understanding of all the teams this year. And I have to say, apart from Wales, I have never seen such a high standard of rugby in British rugby.
Really?
British and Irish rugby, I should say.
Thank you, Taff.
Now, let me just say, working amongst Englishmen most of my life, particularly the last 20 years of my life down in Dover, I have to tell you a peculiarity about the English.
Here we go. Here we go.
The peculiarity is when there's an international rugby match on between Wales and England, we were fortunate to have a fairly big television in the crew and the leading hands mess room on board. ships. And I used to make sure that I was sat down in a good position before the game started. But you would never see any Englishman before about half time. And then you would only see them if England were ahead.
Which was most times tough.
Because they're the ones who are working, chap.
They
They were doing the work.
Oh no, if England were up, they wouldn't get them out of the mess if they were playing well. But having said that, they have a cracking. The English, French, I'll say it in order of my favourite. The Irish, French, and English are going to be neck and neck this year. And the only saving grace for any of you other British teams and Ireland are that France plays Wales on the last game. Yes, I believe that's right. France play, oh no, it might be France and England on the last game. So it's going to be a fascinating Six Nations. And can I just add before I shut up for good, Peter, I've just bought your book on Amazon.
Oh, okay, Chappie, thank you.
About an hour ago, and I locked myself out of Amazon. Because I didn't know how to download it onto Kindle. I have to have it on Kindle, and I've already read about 10 pages.
Right, okay. Well,
but I've got it on Kindle now, and I've managed to get back into Amazon. I've changed.
Oh, well done, Taffy. You know. I hope you enjoy the rest of it.
I'm sure I will.
This is marvellous. Now we've got Macca coming in from Australia.
Wow, he's never been in.
Which is wonderful.
Wow, yeah.
Morning, morning.
Oh, hiya.
Evening.
Hello, hello. How are you all?
You wet the bed or something?
Only seems like an hour ago, Macca.
Yeah.
I know. I had to get up at 4 a.m. So.
4 a.m. True.
Yeah. I've been there.
Lovely, lovely. Well, you've got your here before Steve. Down under.
No, he's not in
Steve.
it. No,
he's not in
no,
it.
He's not.
No. That's it.
No, well, good to see you all again.
Yeah, but I need to talk to Diane. I muted you while you were on the phone, Diane. I hope you don't mind.
Sorry, I thought I'd muted myself. I'm so sorry.
We do have a noise suppression officer, but he's not on the job today.
I needed to cancel work tomorrow.
Well, that's a lovely thing to be able to do. Well, what's work anyway? You know, what's it like?
Well, since I've been down here, I've been working part-time for Hillary's Blinds. You know, shutters, blinds and curtains. But I cover all of North Cornwall and all of North Devon. So I need like 3 or 4 appointments in the same area on the same day. Otherwise, I'm not going. They have to get moved around.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I was just doing. Sorry, I thought I'd muted myself. I'd actually turned the volume off. So sorry.
No, it's all right. It's fine. It's a live crew bar. So is everyone comfortable on their bar stools?
I'm on my sofa.
And that's why they call you Dizzy.
You missed it. You missed a bit, Al. While I was saying I was on the beach a couple of days ago, and someone was shouting, "Dizzy, Dizzy!" And I'm like, "What? It's a bleeding dog." Dog called Dizzy.
They have talking dogs down there.
Bloody hell, Macca, what are you doing up?
Oh well, miracles happen. I had to go. I had to be at the airport at 4 a.m.
Really?
Why?
So
I had a special client going to buy a car down in Melbourne.
It travels some way to buy a car.
Well, it was a big V12, so you had to travel to get it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's like living in Cornwall. I had to go to Swindon, or it was either Cardiff or Swindon to get a car. There is no. It's hopeless down here. I love it. I love it so much. But things like buying stuff is hopeless.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's to do with COVID. You know, people not spending money on travel, so they're buying luxury cars and, you know, spending the money elsewhere.
Yeah. That's probably true.
We're spending it on gas and electricity over here.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're investing in gas and electricity.
Right, I just put another jumper on and some woolly socks.
Yeah, I know.
And it's lovely to see all the smiling faces this weekend on the Crew Bar. All the teams, all my favourites, my mates in the Crew Bar's favourite soccer teams have won this weekend. Never mind the poor old Welsh getting battered by everybody.
It's all right.
So did Villa win this weekend? I haven't even looked.
Yes, they did.
Oh my God. Okay,
They beat Everton 1-0
Oh really? With Stevie G in charge?
yesterday. That's right. Yep.
So what about the NFL, John? It's some big games coming up today.
Well, no, I'll tell you what, it's funny because I understand the average non-American switching on Yankee football, like when my dad came out, and completely being pissed off with it because it doesn't make sense. It stops every 10 seconds. But yesterday, the two games yesterday, and Pete will tell you, it came down to the last second of the game, just like Manchester United. I mean, in Green Bay, it's snowing. It's like 0 degrees, and they need to make like 20 yards to get into field goal range to win. This is San Francisco, and it was very exciting. And there's 2 more games coming today, which are starting at about an hour's time. Yeah, it is. Yeah.
I've got a tenner on Green Bay to win it this year.
Well, Green Bay are out. They lost.
They got knocked out.
I know.
Did you buy the Green Bay?
I can only get 7-1.
You can only get 7-1.
Anyway,
that was a few weeks ago.
Did you buy the Green Bay outfit, Brendan?
Pardon?
Did you buy the Green Bay outfit?
No, I was tempted to.
That would be a cheese head. You seen the cheese heads? You ever seen that?
Is that what they're famous for?
Big slice of cheese on the head, yeah.
Oh, right.
John, I only started following it this year, and I'm very disappointed with your team.
Well, yeah. Well, I tell you what.
I support your team because it's Johnny's team, but
I know it goes back. It goes back to when we lost the Super Bowl when we were on the 1 yard line and we couldn't run it in. After that, we went downhill.
Yeah. Well, look it up because you never know. I might turn up one day and you'll have to take me to a game.
Oh, I'd love to do that, Taffy.
Yeah.
Anyway, we got Watsy in from Sydney.
Oh no! Look, you're late, Steve.
Hey.
Look, Mac is
late.
already in. Mac is already
Oh,
in.
bloody hell! What's he written a bit? What happened?
Well, I do cheerleading with the thingies. I quite fancy doing a bit of that.
Oh, that'd
Making
be
them
handy.
thingies.
There's a time lapse here. I think Diane's a couple of conversations behind.
No, I'm not. I'm on the time on the American football when they stand in the middle.
Oh, okay.
The stuff.
I think you're right, Brendan.
Diane,
Debbie
did you say you're a Villa supporter?
Well, I don't really do football, but if I had to choose a team, it would be Villa because I live in. I
We're
live
getting swamped by Villa supporters.
Huh?
They're all Villa.
They're everywhere.
Really?
We had about 3 this
Everywhere.
morning, didn't we?
Oh, really?
Yes.
Brad Maxwell.
Oh, yeah, I know Brad does.
Prince William.
Steve Watts.
Watsy. And who was the other one? There was another Villa one as well.
There's a lot of them just in the closet.
Come out when they're winning.
You don't have to be a Villa supporter to be in the closet, dear.
Listen, we've got a
Prince
couple
William.
of messages, guys and girls, couple of messages.
Oh, good.
Derek, sorry, ladies and gents, can't make it tonight. Enjoy yourselves.
That's Scotty, right? Scotty.
Yeah, Lynn, I'm out wine tasting today. Has to be done.
Mm-hmm.
And Charles, also out. Catch up Crew Bar next week.
Oh,
Okay. And also,
Charlie.
while we got it, Peter Pratt. Pete Stevens was talking about the captain who passed away this week. Can you talk to Pete?
We were trying to get that confirmed, John.
I hadn't heard about a captain passing away, actually.
David Hanna?
Oh, well, God, David Hanna passed away years ago.
Years ago, didn't he? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. It was an old post, Pete. So there
It's
you go.
Yeah. No, I mean, Christ, we're probably talking about
Quite a few years
20,
ago, wasn't
at
it?
least 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
died quite
Maybe
young.
he got resurrected.
This is pre-post. This is pre-post.
Had he actually retired, Peter? Do you remember?
The what, sorry?
Had Dave Anna actually retired when he passed
Yeah.
away?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he did, yeah.
I know he was quite young to.
Because he went in the office after he went ashore
Yeah.
for a while. And then I think John King took over from him then.
Is Bob Ellingham still going, Peter?
As far as I know, yeah.
Ah,
Yeah.
he was a nice man.
That would be huge because we have that video footage of him on the original Christmas show, which we've shown a million times.
He was great. He was Bob Ellingham.
I'd love him to see that,
Oh
Peter.
yeah, I like
Yeah.
Acapulco Bob.
Acapulco Bob. Yeah. Where does he live, Peter? Do you know?
I don't know. I can find out though. I'll find out by next week.
Well, Bellingham, I thought he'd passed away.
Did he? I can find out. Yeah.
I thought he passed away a few years ago, Bob Ellingham, actually. I might be wrong,
Perhaps
but
he did. I'll confirm it next week.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
we could potentially be having another caveman situation.
Yeah.
He was dead for 20 years till we found him.
That's like a story which happened here this week. This is a true story. Somewhere down the south of Ireland near Cork, these two guys carried an old boy in to collect his pension.
Yes, I saw that.
When he got to the counter, you probably heard about it.
Yeah.
The postmister said, ask him a few questions. And she looks over and said, that guy is dead. So the two guys dropped him on the floor and ran out.
No.
Yeah, it's true, yeah.
Yeah, I read that this morning, though.
Yeah, me too.
On the floor.
I assumed that was a joke.
No joke.
No, I don't think so. No, I think
Well,
I think
Taff, I like your
I think
backdrop.
I think the two guys had been in before trying to claim his pension, and the lady behind the post office counter said, "Sorry, you can't claim his pension unless he appears in person." So they went and got him.
They brought him in.
I don't know.
Oh, they said he wasn't dead when they left the house. That's the real That was like another quick story I'll tell you. This guy was sitting, an old guy, a bit of a character here in town. He was sitting in the pub there last year, having a glass of Guinness in the corner by himself, and three English fishermen came in for a pint. They'd just been on the Shannon, and he started to cry really loud. And the guys got really said, "Are you all right, mate? What's wrong with you? Okay."
Everything was like,
They said that happened, and we know that happened in 1963. He said, "But I only heard it today."
It's the way you tell them.
It is a wheat cracker. Oh dear. Noel, it's gone ever so quiet.
I didn't get enough laughs. I got a whole booze.
Not seen Seamus for a while. Is he up and about, or?
Oh, he's he's getting ready for the fishing season. I think he's polishing his line and he's bored.
No, we were talking about fishing this morning, and with Brendan and all of that, and still, I think, Steve, did you ever go marlin fishing, Steve Walker?
I've been fit now. We've only done it in Alaska.
Alaska.
Salmon in Alaska.
what, marlin fishing?
Marlin fishing in Mexico. No, when
I went once from Mazatlan and was seasick the whole day.
Oh, really? Oh dear, oh dear. Who was the maitre d' or assistant maitre d' who did you've got the recording, Colonel, of salmon fishing?
Ray.
Ray.
Was it Ray or Drain? Was it
Ray or Drain?
Yeah.
I won't spoil it, but on the Aussie recording, when Dave started talking about the fishing in Mazatlan, I did insert Andy Hiscox doing his introduction from that boat. So that'll be something to look forward to.
Yeah.
Where's Mazatlan?
Mexico.
Oh, okay. Has anybody,
Just a
has
matter of
anybody
interest,
watched Martin Clunes this week?
Yes.
Yes.
Wasn't that interesting? I thought that was so interesting.
In Tahiti.
Yeah, but he was
Yeah.
also in Vanuatu and Suva.
Yeah.
And Tonga.
Yeah.
Talking of Ray Aldrain, is Cheeky Mick any relation to him?
Yeah, I think he is. I think he's his son, isn't he?
Hello now.
His son was at sea as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
there was a son-
I thought so. Did I ever tell you the story about Ray Aldrain?
Which one?
I finished I finished at sea in 86, as you know, and I took my first pub the following year in Kegworth, just up the road from here. And on the day we moved in the pub, Ray Aldrain turned up. How he found out, how he knew, I don't know, but he stayed with us for 3 days. We couldn't get rid of him. And I've never seen or heard of him since. I just could not believe. He walked in the pub and he said, "Oh, Gizzy, I've come to give you a hand moving in." I said, "How did you know?" He said, "Oh, I have my contacts." That's all he ever said.
That's amazing.
Yeah, absolutely amazing.
How you doing, Barbo?
Yeah, good.
Just make sure you're awake there.
Yeah, I'm just a little bit tired, but
Yeah,
I'll stay the distance. Yeah,
You did, yeah.
I had a big
How long
day.
in
I'm
Dubai
getting a
for,
bit older.
Bobo?
Sorry?
How long in Dubai for?
Well, I was supposed to go back to Sydney on the flight on the 31st, but I've decided to extend my visa. And at the moment, I'm in discussion, so I'm not quite sure. I might stay another month. Yeah, it depends. Yeah.
Month in
Depends, but I've got to
Dubai. Wow.
see-
Sounds like you
Well,
have
I've got
unlimited funds, Barbo. Where'd that come from?
well, I did rob a few banks.
Did it come from the ocean bar?
No, no, I think it came from other funds.
It's probably
If you do manage to extend it, you might pass the information on to Djokovic. Tell him how it's done.
Yes, yeah. It's because you only get 30 days visa, so I've got to extend it. So, but I can go to Abu Dhabi and come back, but it's a hassle. Yeah, it's a hassle. So, but yeah, it's an interesting place. It's an interesting place. Yeah. So it's expensive. It's expensive.
So behind you, I presume, is a picture.
Yeah, they're the camels. They're my two friends.
Camel toes. How many camel toes?
Here we go.
Here we go again.
No, again.
How many toes?
Yeah, I know that by the end of the trip, I'll have a lot more stories to tell because there's
I thought you
always
were going to
something
say you'll
that
have a lot
happens to
more
me.
camel toes.
I hope not. I hope not. Yeah, but it is an interesting place. Yeah.
Anybody see Michael Palin reliving his trip 80 days around the world? Around the world in 80 days. It was on BBC Two there during the week.
Yeah, I saw some of
That
that.
was in 1984, and when he went to Dubai first, it was only a hole in the wall in 84.
Yeah, nothing. Yeah.
I passed a hotel he stayed at the other day in the old town. Yeah, so because my friend is a tour guide here, and she was pointing it out. And she said, and that's where Michael Palin, stayed when he was producing that Round the World in 80 Days. Yeah.
Remember, we used to fly out via Bahrain, and Bahrain was nothing. There was nothing there.
Yeah.
And now
it's just incredible.
I mean, even the airport, we got broken down once, and we got put off the flight, and we were in the airport, and we were stuck in a bar in one corner, which was the only bit of the airport that was licensed, but the toilets were miles away. And when I wanted to go to the loo, it's like all these Arab guys are all standing outside the bar, and it's like they were all following us. It was really, really weird. And the toilets there were the holes in the ground toilets.
Good old days.
It was like we had to have an escort to go to the loo. It was like, I'm not going out there on my own. I'm not going into that airport on my own because it's actually quite scary.
It was a regular. It was a regular stop on the way to Australia.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But we broke
I'm going to
down.
actually go, guys. I'm going to
Okay,
catch you
Bubba.
there because I'm going to go because I've just got to. Yeah. So, but thanks, guys. Have
Enjoy the rest of your holiday.
yeah.
Bubba, before you go, I've got to tell everyone that you know the time differences get a bit complicated with Sydney and the Kiwis and that. Well, Seattle and Dubai, it's so simple. It's 12 hours. It's 12 hours. But guess what? It took Bubba a whole day to figure it out.
Yeah, I'm
Dubai with 12 hours difference.
I kept saying, Bubba, it's like right now it's 5 to 12.
Yeah, because you're on
Yeah.
UK time with the Q crew bar.
So that's not a bollocking, Bubba. Just a bit of.
No, that's okay. All right, I'm out of here, guys. So I'll talk to you next Sunday wherever I am. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Ciao.
There you go.
Cheers. Lovely.
Cheers, Bobo.
Bye, Bobo.
He's got everyone moves on the screen.
So no, but a colonel's still only giving me bollockings at the moment.
I would never dream of giving Noel Hogan a bargain, especially after he paid that full expense trip to Vegas to be his best man.
I can't.
Hey, talking about best man, Peter, best man. Where just out of now, have a think back.
Yeah.
2 weeks today. 2 weeks today. 40 years ago. Where were you?
Was it 40 years ago now? Christ.
Yeah.
I remember it well, David.
And I was going to say Gizzy, because you were there, and Peter Feet and Tim Sloper.
I remember the scrap in the car park amongst the Scousers.
I know. And my mother-in-law was right in the middle of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wasn't your brother-in-law cause of that, David?
Sorry, Peter.
Listen, guys, I've just got Phil Butcher on the phone.
Pat's younger brother something to do with that?
Yes, it was. It was the younger brother. Yeah.
I'll mute you, Gizzy, just so you can talk to him.
So so in 2 weeks' time, Peter, we're going down to Cornwall actually to
okay.
a hotel down there just for the weekend. So
lovely.
Yeah.
Great.
I wanted to go to Blackpool, take Pat to Blackpool, which would have included a football game with Bristol City at Blackpool, but just couldn't sell it.
Because you can't sell those romantic weekends, Dave.
You're losing your touch, Dave.
I can't believe it's 40 years, Dave.
Yeah. It is 40 years. Yeah.
Good grief.
And who was your first choice for best man, Dave?
I believe. Hang on, it's Steve here. Oh, bloody hell!
Oh, here we go.
Here as well. I think it might have been Colonel, and also Andy Hiscox, and then obviously Steve would have been an usher. But in those days, Steve Walker, you would have been an usher. But sadly, you were on the ship.
I was holding the fort. Yeah.
And Peter, I couldn't have had a better best man. All right, just remember that.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, David.
I feel bad to this day that we didn't have much. We didn't have much handbag in those days, so I couldn't afford it.
No. Yeah, you were out in the States.
Yeah.
And you boys in Australia, you might well have been there as well. Obviously, had I had the pleasure of knowing you then.
Pat Reed, he was there.
Oh, Reed.
Oh no, you had Pat Reed anywhere.
Yeah.
Pat Reed was there.
Oh yeah.
With Tiggy, with his wife Tiggy.
We need Pat Reed in the crew bar.
Isle of Man, didn't they?
Yeah. Bushby, Alan Bushby.
Yeah, Alan was there. Yeah.
Alan Bushby, he was there. And Big Louie was the body basher.
Yeah.
Big Louie. Yeah. She was that. She was the bridesmaid, wasn't she? She was there. Oh, and also
where was it, Dave? Where were you married?
What's the name? The other girl in the salon. She was an American. Nice girl. She was a little bit older than the girls at the time, but she was there as well. I'm trying to think, but she came over. But we went up to Fraser's wedding, and at Fraser's wedding a few months later, I think it was the same year. Obviously, Caveman came over from the States. And it was also who's got the hotel down on the south coast at the moment? Trembles was up there as well. So yeah, so it's quite a. But yeah, and yours is next year, Brendan, isn't it?
Yeah, 40 years next year. Yeah, St George's Day.
Yeah.
Flown by, like you say.
Yeah, yeah.
When you think about it, it's quite a few guys. You know, the marriages. You know, you hear a lot about divorce and things, but quite a few people, you know, have been married for a long time now. Haven't they?
Yep.
Well,
I managed 11 months.
What did I say? What did I say?
It's one of my really. I take great pleasure in knowing that so many of my ex-friends made such good partnerships. I couldn't believe it when Brendan, such a long, Mr. Inge, the Colonel. I mean, really strong.
That was a long one.
I made dozens, Taffy.
Yeah, I know. Well, you like me, you practiced a lot, but and Mr. Hogan as well.
Hogan and Pratty. How long have you been married, Pratty?
I'll be 42 years in July.
Crikey.
Yeah.
Noel, you must be similar, 40 plus.
I'll be 42 years next Paddy's Day, 17th of March.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got 44.
44.
44.
Wow. We were married in 78. So how many years is that?
46,
44.
You should know.
44, yeah.
You'll get in trouble, Johnny.
Yeah.
I was watching a guy being interviewed on television here last night on a talk show, Pete Townsend of The Who.
Oh, yeah.
I couldn't believe he's 78. He looks about 40.
Really?
He had
Really?
He had 8 kids, or has 8 kids, and 18 grandkids. I could not believe when I talk about that. And he's 53. He's 54 years been living with this girl, and he's 50 years married to her. And she told him the other day, we're only married 10 years, the way you carried on. If you ever get to see him, it's unbelievable. I've never seen a guy in that rock and roll era.
So I went to see the Who a couple of years ago at Leeds Arena, about 2 years ago.
Right, yeah.
Oh, brilliant.
Oh, I bet that was really good fun.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was only half the Who because the other half are dead.
That's right, yeah.
I did see the full band in 1967 at the Walthamstow, Granada.
He gave a great interview last night here to a guy called Tommy Tiernan. He's a comedian. You've probably heard of him. It was really funny, but I couldn't believe when I saw when he said he was 78.
Yeah.
So,
Dave, we went to watch the Who, didn't we, Dave?
What's that?
We went to watch the Who.
Did we see them at Birmingham?
Yeah, Birmingham.
At the NEC.
Me, you, Pat, Harry the dog.
Harry the dog, yeah. Dave Hawkins. Do you remember? Anyone remember Harry Hawkins? Harry the dog. Dave Hawkins. Yeah, Gizzy would do. And Hilda, you would remember Harry the dog. Yeah.
Dave Hawkins.
Dave Hawkins, yeah.
Yeah, that was in early 80s, wasn't it?
Early 80s, yeah.
Actually, Dave, it was actually 40 years ago that you, Pat, and myself went to see the Stones at Roundhay Park.
Blimey.
Yeah. Is it really? Yeah.
1982, at the end of the tour. Yeah.
End of the tour.
I did really well all through the late 70s and early 80s for the NEC because my mum was the managing director's PA for BRMB Radio.
Ah.
So every concert that came on at the NEC, I had front row seats with press pass.
Oh,
very go around the back, and it was just amazing. I saw everybody there. It was so good.
Yeah.
And then when you sort of come to start paying for the tickets and they want 500 quid, I'm like, I've seen Rod Stewart dozens of times.
Yeah.
So many people. And then it's like, I think, what? Rod Stewart was always good. I'll go, and it's like 500 quid.
I know. Yeah. I saw him a year ago at Leeds, that was about 300 then, Yeah,
I saw him probably just before all this shit started.
Yeah.
And I actually went on my own because I didn't want to sit right at the back.
Yeah.
And none of my friends would pay like 500 quid. And I thought, right, do you know what? He ain't going to do this many more times.
No.
So I did.
Talking of rock concerts, I see Meatloaf died this week. Did anybody ever see him?
Oh, yeah.
I saw him about 5 or 6 years back in Nottingham. Absolutely fantastic show. So pleased I went.
I saw Meatloaf in Brighton, and at the time I had no idea what Meatloaf looked like. I just adored Meatloaf, and then he came on the stage, and he was really big, and he sweated buckets, and I'm like, and he was flicking his hair, and the sweat was, and I'm like, oh no, that is just.
So did he? Was he what you expected, or worse, or better than you expected?
I just didn't think he'd be quite. I mean, he was like really, really fat and sweating, and I'm just like.
Did he just? I mean, as a kid, was it right? He died of COVID. Did he? Did he die of?
Yeah, he died.
And
Yeah.
he didn't. He didn't.
Oh.
He has
He
been ill
didn't, he
for a
didn't
long
want to be
time.
vaccinated. Was that right, John?
Well, they're not quite sure whether he was vaccinated or not, but he was
All right.
very anti-wearing masks.
Okay.
Was quite vocal about it.
Yeah, he'd also been very ill over the years. I think.
I was going to say he's been very ill. I think anyway. They
Got a
said
lot
he
of
wasn't-
issues.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Asthma and all that. You know.
Oh, COVID would have just pushed it over. Yeah.
Diabetes, had heart attacks and all sorts, hasn't he?
He never divulged whether he was vaccinated or not.
They didn't say.
They won't say.
A bit like Novak.
Yeah.
It said on the paper today.
Novaks.
He never divulged. He never confirmed or denied whether he was vaccinated. So anyhow, it's too late now.
Yeah. And Dave, who did we see in Southport?
Hang on. Roy Orbison.
Oh wow!
Bloody Roy Orbison. He didn't see us, but we.
Oh, he was good to travelling Wilburys.
The big O.
What was the tale from that, John? Dave, there was a bit of a story from that.
Who remembers Billy Vader?
Yeah.
Billy Varda, yeah.
Billy Varda.
Yeah.
Well, Billy, he used to always say on the ship. He said, "Oh, when I used to go on tour, if I was not on the ship, I used to go on tour with, Roy Orbison, do a few of Roy Orbison's tours." And we said, "Wow, that's really good." So anyway, we get to Southport to see the show, and in the halfway back in the stalls, there was the guy there who'd got all the sound system unit, a big deck, with all the knobs on and everything, and headphones. And so we went up to him because we were, what it's like, you just get excited. Well, I do, I do. And I went up, I said, "Oh, great." I said, "You've been touring with Roy for a long time." He said, yeah, I've done quite a lot of tours and that. He said, "Well, when you're out in the States," and I've done the States, Canada, I've done all that. "Well, do you remember, there used to be a stand-up comedian, Billy Vader?" He said, "Billy who?" Billy Vader. I think he might have had a memory lapse. That's all.
Dave worked with him, Dave.
Hey?
He'd worked with him.
He did.
Yeah.
Yes, he did.
He'd
Seriously,
worked with
he
Billy
did.
Vader.
He did. Yeah. And the other one, what about, do you remember the female singer? She was at Aussie cruising a lot, I think. Or was it out on the States, out in America? Well, she used to sing. She sang at the White House in front of President Johnson.
President Johnson.
Yeah,
Going back there, Dave.
Beryl Davis. Beryl.
Blimey, yeah.
Beryl. Do you remember? Yeah, Beryl. Yeah, I mean, she was really old. She was really old.
She was still singing on the ships when she was about 80.
Exactly. I mean, I think she was affectionately known as Burial David.
I thought she sang in front of George Washington, Dave.
She was old. She was old.
Dave, is Billy Vader still alive?
We've been trying to search for him, Peter, for a long time.
Really?
The last, if you go to his Facebook page, the last post is 10 years ago.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Someone said, I'm not sure who it was, but they said that Billy had maybe developed dementia, and
exactly.
But he was still alive, but they weren't sure where he was.
Chris Chapman might know if you can get hold of him.
I
think it might have been Chris actually that mentioned it.
He was still doing his shows on the Princess ships, and he kept forgetting his show, apparently.
Yeah.
He was losing his mind a bit, and he was on stage, and what am I doing here, kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Oh.
I do. A lot of people wondered that.
Yeah.
Don't be unkind, boys.
Yeah, exactly. That goes back to what you said about Meatloaf and that. Well, I think what we're getting in the culture right now is I want to remember Meatloaf as this incredible musician.
Yeah.
But if he decided to make one bad decision and they say, well, he's dead because he didn't get vaccinated and now they hate him, that all goes back to the Trump, what's happening in the USA. You know, the USA
he
is
was the most amazing musician.
Split society.
And that's what we think about.
You know, and so I hate to think that way, especially if you know that's the way it is. But
no, I think we all remember him from
affectionately.
It was, yeah.
I just think it's slightly ironical the fact that he died of COVID when his most famous album was Bat Out of Hell.
Yeah. Yes.
His only album, really.
Only album, yeah. And he was also in the Rocky Horror Picture Show too, wasn't he?
Do you know what? I didn't realise that, and I love Rocky Horror. I love going to Rocky Horror.
He was in the movie. You know, I saw him actually in 1972 down in London in a record shop signing up albums. You know,
really
in '72.
Did anybody see him when he?
Do you remember an SAP named David Collins?
Yeah.
He
was in the group of cadets just behind me.
Right, but I first time I saw Rocky Horror was at this Backstreet Theatre just off Soho down in London, and I went with David Collins. He was one of them, about 4 others to see it for the first time. It's very funny. Yeah, that's what reminded me.
The first time you go and see it is all a bit like, oh my god, what the fuck is going on? Everybody's got these amazing costumes on. They used to have water pistols and throw rice and everything. They don't allow you to do that anymore. But the costumes were just fab.
Yeah. Go ahead, Steve Watts. What did you want to say?
Did anybody see Meatloaf a few years back? He was in Australia. They brought him to Australia for the AFL Grand Final in Melbourne at the Melbourne Cricket Ground, and he sang. He was the opening act, you know, before the game, and he sang there, and he was absolutely atrocious. I don't know whether he was stoned or smashed or what, but it was just an unbelievable. He really lost it to Australians. It was embarrassing. He really was. And it was as if he, you know, you couldn't believe that someone with his background could sing so badly. He was just totally off. Yeah.
He got booed off.
Absolutely. Yeah, he got booed off.
I was at Hyde Park a few years ago, and Grace Jones was playing, singing. Wow. We went really because it was Kylie, and it was just like a silly girly day out. Grace Jones came on, and you're looking at her thinking, hang on a minute, she hasn't got any clothes on. She was stark naked, absolutely stark naked with body paint on. She couldn't sing. She had no idea what the words were. She was completely out of time with what she was singing to the music. She was absolutely off her head. And we're sort of there, and it's like, what is going on the stage? It's like this biggest car crash you've ever seen. So Grace Jones, with like no clothes on, stoned out of her brains. The next act is Kylie.
Would have been a good duet with Meatloaf.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Poor girl was probably cold with no clothes on.
It was a warm day. Somebody had obviously painted. She was body painted. And then for a minute you sort of think she's got some sort of weird bodysuit on, and then it's like, actually, she hasn't.
So anyway, what about this Bobo back in Dubai? What about this camel toe? What was this all about?
You frightened Bobby off, he's gone.
Anyway, guys, I'm going to have to go because my phone's going. So it was really good to see you again. Can we get some more of the girls on here sometime?
Yeah, we hope to.
Oh, they don't come on, do they?
Actually, Diane, we have a member of the management of Crew Bar who's responsible for the female participation, and his name is Pete Stevens.
Pete, can we get a bit more organised, please?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay, bye guys. Bye. I must go and take the ball. Bye guys.
David, TLs, please, TLs.
Yeah, traffic lights, David.
Hey, what's happened now?
You're not doing the job.
Before the traffic lights come up, how long have you been married?
Who?
Macca.
35 years. Next 35 years this year.
Oh, well done. Well done.
Excellent.
Where's Miss Debbie? Is she still in bed?
Yeah, I left her in bed. She needs a beauty sleep.
Well, so do you.
And you don't.
So do you, but you're...
Well, I nearly came in when Dave said it only seems like an hour ago since we saw you. And I nearly quipped in, you mean 10 years ago?
Very good, very good. Now, boys, but yeah, it's only boys now. Before we go, obviously promotions wise, obviously apart from Peter's book, which we've been promoting.
Yeah. Can you remember the title of it, Dave?
Yes, I do. I do remember the title. It's right here, right? Literally. But also, we mentioned this morning, Fruity has been in close communications with Oscar, and there will be an Oscar story tonight, and it's called Fruity.
It's the Orient Line, the start.
Right.
Orient Line, the start. So this
Sounds like it's going to be a long series.
A long one, yeah.
This is just the
Possibly,
start.
yeah. Possibly.
It's going to be a long session.
How long did the Orient Line go for? It gives us an idea how long Oscar's presentations are going to be.
Before everybody goes, UK members, we were talking about music 10-15 minutes ago.
Yeah.
When you say goodbye to the Crew Bar, Channel 11, Sky Arts, Pink Floyd are on.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
They're on right now,
isn't it? Isn't it Pulse?
Yes.
Is it? Yeah.
It's on right now.
Right.
And
Okay.
also the NFL started right now, Pete. So the Mr. Brady's playing on the Buccaneers is on right now.
Where are
they playing, John?
Anyhow, going back to Oscar Tales, he puts in a lot of work.
I know he does. Yeah.
Grips. So let him just do what he wants to do.
Yeah.
Absolutely. No, it's good. It's good to hear. It's good to hear and see that your storyline with it, Fruity.
They're playing the LA Rams, Gizzy. Sorry, I had to go look on the telly. I forget.
LA Rams.
Colonel. All right.
Does anybody remember, talking of the LA Rams, does anybody remember when they came on Pacific Princess when they won the Super Bowl? Would have been about 77, 78. There's about half a dozen. They won the Super Bowl that year.
Well,
they did a party.
They would have been from a different city then, but
no, they were LA. They were they.
No,
sorry.
Okay, yeah,
that's right.
They used to play at the old Olympic Stadium.
Yeah.
Sorry, on the other one, there was a guy called Simon Jeffrey. Someone put on that he passed away. He was an ex-coxswain from the Royal and the Island Princess, and then became a fitness director. Does anyone remember him?
What was his name again?
Simon Jeffrey.
Yeah, he was a coxswain that went entertainment, didn't he?
Did he?
A bit like Tommy
Kavanagh. He was on Canberra, I think.
I was on there at the time, but I can't say I remember him.
No, I can't remember him, but I was there at the same time, actually.
It's on Jukesy's put it on the
yeah, it was on Facebook, pension site, wasn't it?
Yeah. I just wondered if anyone knew him.
Yeah. No, I don't remember him, Fruity, I'm afraid.
I saw the item, but I don't remember him.
No.
It was only 54, I think. Was it 54 or 57?
50 something, John, yeah.
Yeah,
Really?
very young, yeah.
It was probably there after our time then, I should imagine.
Okay, Dave. Traffic lights.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, traffic lights. Get the right backdrop up. Well, link here.
Hey, Bob, are you still coming out to Sydney? Right. Blackpool, Bob?
Sorry?
Are you still coming out to Sydney?
Well, I'm still booked. I've got my flight booked on the 25th of April. Supposed to arrive there on the 27th. We're just waiting for them to open the doors.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it should be okay.
It might.
Well, we're
well
hoping
be,
so. Fingers crossed. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll be there for till the end of May.
Oh well, we'll have a few days out.
We'll try our best. Yeah. Yeah.
I'll take you down. I'll take you down to Fruity's Yacht Club.
I'm not sure if I've been there or not. My nephew who I stay with, he's a chef, or he was.
Excuse me, it's not actually my yacht club.
Oh.
I never
made enough money there.
Got the one at Abbotsford.
Money to buy a yacht, yet alone the club.
Yeah.
All right. And also, before we get Fruity, because we're talking Australia and that, thanks to Macca and Stephen for coming up from Sydney. To see you both, you two again. It's great to see.
Good to see you. Good to see everybody.
Really good, and you, Steve, as usual, and for all others as well. And Peter coming back in. It's good to see you.
Thanks very much. Appreciate it.
All right. Now, what we'll do, Colonel's got some lovely music. He's about to start playing. So we'll just give a wave. We'll give a wave, and then we'll see you all next week.
Okay, guys.
Okay.
See you guys.
See you guys.
Bye.
Bye for now. Take it easy. See you all.
Bye.
See you, Johnny. See you guys. Have a good week.
Hello, everyone. This is Oscar from Ollie's Pocket with Oscar Tales. The Orient Line. The start. James Thompson and Company owned the Orient Line of sailing packets and took on a lad of 17 years old in 1797 to manage a ship for the company. The lad's name was James Anderson, and the ship he managed had a relative of his, Alexander Anderson, as its captain. This bright young man soon became a partner in the company. The first ship, called Orient, was launched in 1853 for the Australian trade and was a sailing ship of the type called clipper ships. A second clipper ship was called Murray and was bought in 1856. The company was renamed Anderson and Thompson in 1863. They bought two more sailing clippers, Kunato 1863 and Yatala in 1865. The company was renamed Anderson and Anderson and Company in 1889. A rival company, apart from B&O, on the Australian trade was R&H Green, who owned sailing ships called Blackwall frigates. They had the 1855 Agamemnon and later in 1873 Hesperus and the Aurora. Both companies operated their ships to Australia via the Cape, calling at Cape Town. Anderson and Anderson were also involved with operating sailing ships to the West Indies and South America. They also helped the start of the later famous Rio Tinto Company by acting as a ship's broker. R&H Green sent their first steamship to Australia in 1872. Then Anderson and Anderson had a joint venture with R&H Green for a steamship called Easby in 1874. Later in the year, another joint venture with a ship called St. Joseph. In 1877, Anderson and Anderson chartered Lusitania, 3,825 tons, Chimborazo, 3,847 tons, and Cuzco, 3,845 tons from the PSN Company with an option to buy, which they did at a later date. In 1878, Anderson and Anderson and Company and their partners, F. Green and Company, formed the Orient Steam Navigation Company Limited. The first ship purchased was the Garonne. In 1879, they ordered a brand new ship to their own design from the yard of John Elder and Company on the Clyde. She was the third largest ship in the world at that time, the largest being the Great Eastern, followed by the city of Berlin. She was single-screwed with a compound engine with 3 cylinders. She also had 4 masts, so to use sail in case of engine failure. In 1879, a fortnightly service was introduced on the Australia run. To achieve this, a joint venture with the PSN Company was announced. The ships involved were 5 Orient vessels. They were Orient, Lusitania, Chimborazo, Garonne, and Cuzco. Also 7 vessels of the PSN Company. They were Aconcagua, Iberia, John Elder, Dorato, Liguria, Cotopaxi, and Potosi. The following year, electric lights were fitted to Chimborazo. Also, in 1880, refrigeration was fitted in Orient. It was so successful that subsequently all Orient Lines ships were fitted with refrigeration very rapidly, and all ships had electric lights by 1893. In 1882, the next new ship that the Orient Line ordered, and again from John Elder and Company on the Clyde, she was called the Austral, and was the latest in all comfort and amenities, and even boasted a lift. Her public rooms were fitted with call buttons to summon a steward, and she boasted a steam lodge of a new design on davits. However, on her second voyage, after a maiden voyage of great success, her service came to an abrupt halt. While coaling in Neutral Bay, Sydney, she developed a list. Her aft coaling ports were open and dipped under the water, and she rapidly filled with water and sank. In the process, she managed to drown several crew members. It took 3 months to raise her, and after temporary repairs, she went empty back to Great Britain to go into dry dock for a lengthy period to complete her refit. The cost of all this nearly bankrupted the Orient Line. With the Cotopaxi also under repair, and the Lusitania and Orient trooping for the government, the fortnightly service had not enough ships. So a charter of a Cunard ship was arranged. She was the Cephalonia, and she did 1 round trip to Australia and back. Subsequent steamships on the Australia service were the Ormuz, 1886, 6,081 tons, which had a double bottom. Arroyo, 1887, 6,057 tons. Orotava, 1880, 5,552 tons, and Aruba, 1890, 5,527 tons. In 1886, Lusitania, and in 1887, Cuzco were given new engines. They were the more modern triple expansion engines, and they also received new boilers. In 1889, the first of the Orient Line cruises were run. On the 12th of March 1889, the Chimborazo did a Mediterranean cruise of 37 days, and it was a huge success. So much so that she was joined by Garonne, and both ships ran on regular cruising, embarking their passengers from the London docks. In 1889, a new ship of 7,000 tons was put on order, the largest ordered to date. She was to be called the Ophir, but more of her next time. Well, that's all, folks, for this week. From Oscar. Oh, and always remember,
Sun